Hey, y'all. This your girl, Toni, with Eat and Travel with Toni. We're here today. We're going to be making some mini peach cobblers. I haven't made peach cobbler probably in over 10 years, I don't think. I used to make them all the time back in the day. But I always made them in like a big aluminum pan. But today, like I said, they're going to be minis in these little small little containers. So I got lids for them too. Because I have an event tomorrow. I'm going to have cookies. I got gochujang caramel, which is like a Korean chili spice cookie. Then I have some slutty brownie cookies, which is a layer of chocolate chip cookie dough, Oreos, and then brownies on top. And then I got some red velvet cookies stuffed with cheesecake. So the peach cobbler is going to be the topping on the cheesecake, I put it that way. So like I said, y'all, I'm making those. And this is for my business, Cookies and Ish. Just in case y'all don't know much about it, Cookies and Ish is a business I started here in Southern Arizona. You can get more information in the description. So let's go ahead and get into making these peach cobblers, y'all. I got to get some scissors first. Where I put the scissors? I just had the scissors, Lord Jesus. Oh, here they go. Finna say now, I just had these doggone scissors, y'all. So I got to cut the doggone. I'm using regular pie crust. I'm about the pie crust from Walmart. I wasn't going out I wasn't finna make any. I made it before, but I normally do not make it for my peach cobblers. And I haven't in the past. I think maybe once. I don't like to deal with all that dough trying to make all this. So this is the easier way, just to buy it. And then I'm using canned peaches as well. I use 2 big ones. I think they're 15 ounce. What's the small one? I think it's an 8 ounce. Okay, my bad, y'all. Okay, I use 2 big 29 ounce cans of peaches. It's the peaches in heavy syrup. But honestly, to me, it does not matter which kind I get as long as I got a can of peaches. That's just for me, and it's always worked. I haven't had no issues or anything with any kind of peaches or what kind you get or what. It doesn't make a difference as long as you season it well and put enough sugar on them to make them taste good and be all luscious and current on. Now, that gets to the next thing. I learned how to make peach cobbler from watching my grandmother's and my mama's mom and one of her sisters. They used to make peach cobblers a lot. Now, they didn't measure anything, and I've never made mine to measure anything either. But I'm going to try my best to measure some stuff up in here today. We're going to see how this going to go, y'all. Because like I said, I'm not used to measuring anything with a peach cobbler. Just throwing it on in there and putting it in the oven. So I will try my best to measure something so I can give y'all some type of amount to put into the peach cobbler. Because usually what I do is, of course, today I actually put it into a bowl because I'm making, I guess, the peaches in a bowl. Because I'm making these small containers of mini peach cobbler. Because I'm going to have to scoop it into these little containers after I put the dough on the bottom. So I had to get a container, like I said, to mix everything in there. I'm going to put sugar in there as well. But I always put sugar on top because sometimes it's not enough sugar. And like I said, y'all, from St. Louis, as y'all know, there's y'all on the R's and all that. From St. Louis, like I said, mother's side of the family from Arkansas, down south. Like I said, they didn't measure anything, and that's what I grew up doing. But like I said, we do like things sweet to make sure you can taste the flavors in the peach cobbler. That's just us. But like I said, everybody may not like that. It's fine. Do as you please. But like I said, this is my recipe today. So I got to get some butter, y'all. So let me go ahead and get into this. And I got a stick and a half. I'll just take 2 sticks. I don't know how many sticks of butter I'm going to need. Because usually, like I said, I'm just cutting stuff up and doing stuff. I don't, like I said, measure anything. But I'm going to try my best today, y'all. I'm going to try my best. Trust me on that one. And I meant to actually spray these before I even put this. Got to get my oven on. My oven's on. I just turned my oven on 350, y'all. And that's going to be enough. I just wanted them a little bit oiled. The butter, of course, will continue to oil them up and all that kind of stuff when I put them in there. So that shouldn't matter. But let me go ahead and pull this on down, y'all, so I can try to figure out how to measure this peach cobbler season for y'all. Because I don't know, y'all. Like I said, I'm not used to using it. Of measuring cups and all this. So let me see, y'all. But I do, of course, have cinnamon and nutmeg. And, of course, I got sugar, too. White and brown. So the brown sugar's over there somewhere. But I do have that, too. And I'm going to start off using tablespoons of cinnamon. I'm going to start off with 2, y'all. Just to let y'all know. Oh, crapolas. I got the things. I should have got my smaller measuring cup thing that actually only has. I didn't do that, but that's all right. Like I said, where I'm from, y'all, we like a lot of seasonings. I don't know about y'all, but like I said, down south, that's how My mama's mom, them cooked. They didn't use a lot of measured ingredients. And that's how I've learned to cook a lot of different things. It just depends on what it is. I try to go by recipes and like the measurements on here for y'all, but usually I don't do that, y'all. So I'm just cooking something. I put it that way. I'm making some. I'm baking some. The only thing I will measure, of course, is when you're making, of course, cakes, like homemade cake mixes and stuff like that. Yes, I will measure that, y'all. Yes, I will measure that. But otherwise, I don't really measure a lot. It just depends. Cakes and cupcake mixtures and brownie mixtures. Those kind of mixtures. Let me get another spoon. Well, actually, where's my little right here? So far, y'all, I have put 2.5 teaspoons of ground cinnamon into the peaches. Let me get my, hold on, y'all. I need some more light over here. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, y'all. I don't like the lighting over here too much. But that's my kitchen, though, but that's all right. But I want to make sure that it's a little bit lit up for y'all as much as I can, y'all. Otherwise, you're like, what is she doing? What is going on up in here? Okay, let me see if that helped. I think that helped. Let me wash my hands off, y'all. Think that helped. I think that helped. Let me see if yeah, because that just makes a shadow for me. Okay, there we go. So, I got my teaspoon. And I have a 1/2 teaspoon for the nutmeg, y'all. And I'm putting about a 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg in her too. And that's all I'm going to include for the nutmeg. I normally don't put it in there a lot. But this recipe, I chose to go ahead and put it on in there, so I will put that in there. And I got to put my sugars in here too, y'all. I'm just stirring it up right now, y'all. Okay, scissors, get over there. Get over there for me. Get over there. Get over there. There we go. There we go. And like I said, I didn't even ask how y'all was doing. How y'all doing, y'all? How are y'all doing? How are y'all doing, y'all? I know I'm doing well. I've been making a lot of changes within my baking business. I guess I put it that way. Because it was not the changes in the baking business itself. Changes in, because I was, of course, all types of things. Coach and baker and of course, my full-time job is a social worker. So, of course, I have that title anyway. But, of course, online trying to be a coach, and which I was doing well. I mean, I was doing okay with it as far as the content-wise, it seems like. But after all these years, it never made me any money, y'all, at all. I think 7. How many of more? 5 to 7 years never made me any money, y'all. But like I said, I did do course videos, workshops, all types of things. So I had to make the hard decision recently to stop, to stop actually doing that business and just focus on my baking. And like I said, that decision was made this week, and that's what I'm doing right now. I'll put it that way. So like I said, y'all seeing the new and improved cookies and ish. Guess I put it that way. But like I said, y'all, that was definitely a hard decision because I know that I feel like I failed in some type of way inside that business. But like I said, I know that. Hold on, y'all. I know that I learned a lot because, of course, I read a lot of business books, took courses, took all kind of stuff, sales books and all types of things. Like I said, that business had never made me any money at all. But I take that back. I sold one thing. Never sold any coaching or that kind of thing at all, but I sold one date night coupon book that I had made. I did sell one of those, which was only like $10 or something, but that was years ago. But like I said, y'all, I ain't gonna say I wasted my time, but like I said, I love talking about relationships and sex and love and all that type of stuff. Of course, like self-care, bettering yourself and all that. I've always been the type to talk about inspirational things and to try to inspire people, make people laugh, feel good. That's my character, and that's me just being Tanetta. That's who I always am. But like I said, I had to decide between that business and my baking business, because like I said, the baking business has always made me money. Since I started my first business back in my early 20s, it has always made me money. It may not be thousands a day or that kind of thing at all. I was always at home, but it's made me money. I put it that way. And like I said, I had to stick with what was making me money and what was actually bringing me joy to do. Yes, the coaching was okay and that kind of thing, but to set up all these funnels and do all this stuff, that was a hell of a lot of stuff to do. And I know that me just talking, I love to talk, as y'all can tell, but me just talking, that's really what I want to do. Just talk. I don't really want to create all these funnels and create all these masterminds and all this type of stuff. And like I said, I had to make that hard decision, y'all. And I'm telling you this because you need to hear my story too. But also know that it's okay to switch things up. If something's not working, it's okay to do something else. If you're doing 15,000 things like I was, it's okay to just do one and work off that one. The one that's making you the most money. Or some money. The other ones ain't. The one that's making you the money, period. Do that. Like I said, you don't have to do whatever. I was calling myself trying to be like the next Tony Robbins and all this kind of stuff. And all these other coaches I saw, you can make $1 million a day and a month. And trying to learn all this stuff, trying to be like them. And I was not myself. I mean, I was myself, like doing the work, I put it that way. But not as far as creating that business. And I'm like, this is not working because they ain't make me no money no way. None of the things I did, all them books I read, which like I said, I have the background knowledge, which is awesome. But next time I'm sticking to my guns and what I know. I like to run my mouth, I like to talk, I like to bake. That's what the hell I'm going to be doing. And of course, I like to share funny stories and all that kind of stuff too. That's just me. And while I'm talking, y'all, I didn't tell y'all I put a cup of sugar in here. And I have a cup of brown sugar as well. I'm going to pour over in here. But like I said, I had to make that hard decision. I mean, it just, of course, after a time in the business, like I said, if it's not making you any money, you're going to have to do something different anyway. There ain't no sense to keep wasting your time and trying to build a molehill. What is a mole out of a molehill? And you don't get anywhere. So like I said, I had to learn that lesson the hard way all those years. But like I said, I didn't waste my time. There was other folks, of course, out there who was looking for my story. And, of course, when I didn't show up and that kind of thing, where you at? You okay? This kind of thing. And I know folks were depending on me telling my story in that manner. I guess I put it that way as well. And coaching, talking about relationships and that kind of thing too. But what I also know is that that's me naturally. And I know I can share some awesome, funny stories and different things that I've been through, others have been through. And, of course, stuff that I found online I can talk to y'all about, too. Like I said, that's your girl. And like I said, I love to bake. And like I said, run my mouth as I keep doing for the last 10 minutes. But like I said, that's your girl, y'all. That's just me. But like I said, I had to make that hard decision because I wasn't going to keep wasting my time doing that business that was getting me nowhere, basically. So, like I said, it taught me a lot. It worked on me. Taught me a hell of a lot, actually, about business. But as far as anything that was actually making any money from anything, I made none at all, y'all. And that was at least 5 years. I know it was more than 5 years, but at least 5 years. A way a lot was, I think, close going on 7, maybe years, actually, y'all. Like I said, that was something that I had to choose to do. And like I said, I know that I keep saying wasting my time, but I learned a hell of a lot, y'all. I'm moving this stuff out the way. Trying to get it out the way so I can pull these containers down here, y'all. Like I said, I learned a lot along the way. A lot along the way when it came to business, y'all. But that's okay. Like I said, things happen. And I'm just telling you that things happen. Whether it's a business, a relationship, no matter what the hell it is, just know that if you need to switch things up, you need to switch things up. And don't worry about what nobody else got to say about it. Unless you're dealing with other people's relationship, then yes, you have to talk to them about it. And y'all got to come to some kind of consensus and make sure nobody's feelings are hurt. But if you need to leave that thing, leave that thing. Like I said, that's what you would have to do. I guess I put it that way anyway. Like I said, don't beat yourself up. I almost started to. Trying to beat myself up about how long I took and this business, I did this for all this time and this kind of thing. I had to stop telling myself that and let myself know that it wasn't just a waste of time. Yes, it was a lot of time that I spent, yes, but it wasn't a waste of time at all. I learned a hell of a lot in that relationship with that coaching business. I learned a lot from the coaches I was following. I learned a lot from the workshops that I was taking. I learned a lot, y'all. And in any relationship, no matter whether it's with the business or a person, you learn a lot along the way. It works on you. Trust me on that one. It's always going to work on you. Even if you don't see it, it's going to work on you. And don't, like I said, just don't feel bad about it. Like I said, I started down that path this morning almost. I was like, man, I wasted my time, which I think I've said that on her too. But I know doggone well I ain't waste my time. I learned a hell of a lot, y'all. And I'm probably going to teach business at some point, I'm sure, about small baking businesses like I'm doing right now. And y'all, I'm just turning up this dough just to let you know I'm just putting it inside of these containers. I'm not putting any rhyme or reason to it because I know that somehow it's going to come together. I put it that way. It always does. Like I said, I've never had any issues with nothing coming together, so it always comes together when it comes to my baking, y'all. But like I said, just know that if you're in a situation that you don't like or it's just the things are going on and on and on, and you don't see an ending, and it's not benefiting you in any kind of way, you're going to have to decide what you're going to do with that relationship, no matter who it's with or what it's with. Just know that, y'all. And it's okay to decide to do something different. The people you're dealing with may be upset about it, especially if it's the person. But just know that it's okay to do something different, y'all. It is okay. That's my message for you today. It's okay. Sometimes it has to happen. It definitely has to happen. Because I've been in relationships too that I had to end. It has to happen sometimes. And just know, y'all, like I said, that it's okay. Your mental health and your well-being is first, y'all. That's something that I've learned over these years. But like I said, that's definitely something that you have to take to heart with you for real. I know that now. I'm 48. I know that now. But I had to learn that. But just know that it's not too late to start whatever you want to start over again. And just know that I'm not starting from the bottom. I already know how to bake. I'm starting from where the hell I left off at. I put it that way. I'm starting from what I know with the information I got and the skills that I got to create what I think is going to be an awesome business to create as well. Which I've been creating already, been doing already. I do vendor events and all that kind of stuff in the area anyway. I got one tomorrow, like I said, that's why I'm making these. Go along with my cookies. But like I said, y'all, just know that it's never too late to redo anything. Like I said, I know it's hard when it comes to people because people, of course, feelings get in the way, and especially if it's relationship and that kind of thing. I know that one's hard. But if it has to be done, y'all, it has to be done. It has to be done. Like I said, with this business, it had to be done because I know doggone well that the business that's making me the most money, I should have kept doing, or making me the money. I should have been doing those things instead of just trying to still push the coaching and push the coaching and push the coaching that was getting me nowhere but some likes on the post and some comments and that kind of thing, which is fine. But likes on the post ain't going to pay me at all. And it's not going to pay you either. Like I said, that's something that we have to learn when we're, especially going into business, that's something you have to learn. And of course, I knew that already, but I was trying to make it work. I didn't give up. But I just at some point, of course, I still have the skills. I know how to coach. I ain't worried about that. It can always be revamped years down the line. It may be a business coach. I don't know. Like I said, I'm working with doing this business here. And like I said, y'all, just know that the lessons and the skills that you learn, no matter whether it's a business or a person that you was in a relationship with, they're still useful. They're still useful. You can still use those skills in other relationships or with other people, places, and things. Trust me, you can always do that, y'all. Don't feel bad about having to end something end something. I ain't gonna say before it's time, but having to end something. Because we all gonna have to end something at some point, y'all. Shoot. Okay. There we go. All right. Oh, I need my peaches back. My peaches back. And it's made its own juice, y'all. So I'm over here talking to her and all. And I actually need to put some, because I need a bowl that I can put some sugar into. Or something I can put it into. The measuring cup. So I need some, like I said, I know I'm going to need some more sugar up in this bad boy. Like I said, we use a lot of sugar in our stuff, y'all. A lot of sugar. That's how I grew up, and that's what I'm going to do. And spices, too, I guess I put it that way when it comes to baking stuff and making stuff. All right, so all I'm going to do is just scoop this on over, y'all, into the containers. And I may have some left over, of course. Then I'll just go ahead and, of course, make more of these. Or just make a big one. I don't know. I have to decide about that. But like I said, I'm definitely going to scoop this on over in there. Scoop it on in there. I did not know exactly how many cans of peaches to use for this because I've never made minis. I've always made, like I said, big trays and big pans full. This is the first time I've ever made small mini pans. I'll put it that way. And like I said, I hope y'all enjoying the video so far. Make sure that y'all, of course, subscribe to the channel. Like I said, I'm here to, of course, to bake. And, of course, like I said, to share as I'm baking, too. That's something that I've always loved to share. So But that's my story about baking, life, relationships, no matter what it is. I'm going to share it, y'all. I'm always open, honest, and transparent. Some of y'all may already know me that's on here watching, which I know some of my friends and family are. And y'all already know that about me already. I already know all that about me already. Good Lord, y'all. I hope y'all enjoying this video. Like I said, the only thing I'm doing right now is just putting the peaches inside the cavities. Like I said, I had no idea how many cans I was going to need, but like I said, if I have extras, this going to go in either inside some more minis or trying to see what side, what a turn is at. I'm trying to get this right, y'all. I'm going to be wasting this juice all up on this counter either. But I'll have to clean it down again, so I just wiped it off, but it's all right. That happens, y'all, especially when you're baking. Especially in everything. You got to wipe it back down again. Something's going on. Relationship, things, whatever it is. And that's okay. Got to redo this business. Or not redo, but focus on one business only. Everything else will fall into place. Like I said, that's what I had to do. So, like I said, sometimes you have to do that. We can multitask to a certain point. I know that for a fact. But in business, when you're trying to multitask and do too many things, something's not going to work right. And that showed me that coaching business was not working right. And that also let me know that I've had the gift of baking and making stuff since I was a kid. I first started baking with my great-great-grandmother in the kitchen. I wasn't even in first grade yet, actually. But of course, she was having me make the pancake mixes and from scratch and all that kind of stuff. I fell in love in the kitchen. Like I said, I was very young, 3, 4, probably between 2 and 4 years old. Well, probably about 3 to 4 years old. I don't know how old I was. I know I wasn't in school yet, y'all. But like I said, I took a love of making stuff, being in the kitchen, I guess, from that. Like I said, I've been doing this a long, long time. And there was a gift, like I said, when I got on my own, my first apartment, I started my business then. I was, 19, 20, 21 years old. Started my first business back then. And I knew that, of course, everybody told me, you have a gift, you have a gift, you have a gift. And I'm thinking my gift wasn't prestigious enough because the coach made all this money and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, okay, that ain't working for me. So that must not be what I need to be doing anyway, God said. I'm pretty sure that. So just like y'all and ran myself to the ground with that coaching business. Which, like I said, I love some of the stuff. I love the teaching aspect and the talking aspect and all that. But like I said, as far as anything else, And I knew I didn't like some of that stuff. And I still kept trying to do it anyway. And like I said, y'all, that's a lesson learned. Sometimes you're going to run yourself into a wall like that. Sometimes you will. Keep trying to do something. Keep trying to do something. And it's not working out. Like I said, y'all, that's all right. It happened. Happened to me. It's going to happen to you. I'm sure it's probably happened to a lot of y'all already who out there listen to me. I'm sure of that because I'm not just the only one. Like I said, that's a lesson that we learn, y'all. It's a lesson that we learn. And it's okay to learn that lesson. Like I said, I'm 48 years old. It's okay to learn that lesson later in life. Everything you're not going to learn in the beginning of life, y'all. But just know that when you learn that lesson, make sure that you're switching lanes too. If it ain't working, don't keep doing the same thing. Beating it, what did I say? Beating a dead horse? Or something like that I said. I forgot what I said earlier. But don't keep doing that, y'all. Learn how to switch it up and know that it's okay. It took me a while. I was told years ago. My partner told me a few years ago, actually. You don't need to be doing that coaching business. Why don't you just focus on your baking? I'm like, oh no, I got this. I'm gonna do this. That business. It taught me. Because I had told him this morning, like I told him, I made a choice to go ahead and stop that. At least for right now, anyway. At least for right now. He was like, I told you so. I'm like, I know. I know. But yeah, I didn't want to hear that back then. So, like, all right. Didn't want to hear it all back then. I'm being hard-headed as hell. Which I think a lot of us are. I know I'm not the only one. I'm pretty sure a lot of us are. Pretty sure that. But like I said, I had to learn that lesson, y'all. Like I said, whatever lessons you learn, apply it to your life. Apply it to your life. And just know that it's never too late to learn a lesson, y'all. It's never too late. I'm telling y'all that from experiences y'all just heard me talk about. In relationships and in business. It's never too late to learn lessons, y'all. Ever, ever, ever. And I got the rest. I'm not going to put the rest of this juice, just a tiny bit. Because I got to put some butter in her too. Because I ain't even put the butter in her yet, y'all. So I got to put some pats of butter in her. I'm trying to just get this. Trying to get this. All right. Make sure I got some juices up in there. It ain't going to be a lot. Because, I mean, but like I said, I don't like all that soupy peach cobbler. I've never liked soupy peach cobbler. I like mad thick and sugary. And I guess the thickness is next to sugar, with the sugar and stuff like that in anyway. I've never liked it, like I said, all runny and soupy. And I don't like anything runny and soupy. I'm not a pie person. Just to let y'all know, I'm not a pie person at all, which makes no sense. I'm making peach cobbler, which is similar to pies. But I will eat peach cobbler. I just won't eat pies. And don't ask y'all, it's the same thing. I'm almost the same thing. Now I'm going to sprinkle just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Uh-oh. Like I said, cinnamon on top, y'all. I'm just going to sprinkle it because I can't seem to get it out of there. Just a tiny bit more. Not sprinkling no more. Like I said, I always do that to make sure. Like I said, I like to make sure my stuff is covered. And it looks like it's going to be a season in there. I guess I put it that way as well. Not just sitting there and just stuff all on top and this kind of thing. I want to make sure that it's seasoned. And like I said, I always put more sugar on top, y'all. I know that 1 cup of sugar is probably not enough. At least from where I'm from, it's probably not enough. So this is another cup of sugar. I have it in my cup. I'm just taking it out by the spoonfuls. And like I said, this is how I make peach cobbler. That's why I said I don't measure, because there really isn't a measure for this. But like I said, I put a cup inside, a cup of brown sugar and a cup of white sugar inside the bowl, and I'm adding some more sugar on top. But this the only way I put my peach cobbler into the oven. If I got some sugar sticking on top. And some of y'all probably say, what the hell is she doing? But whenever I have done this in the big pans, it caramelizes all the peaches and the any juice that's in there as well. It always caramelizes very, very well. And it comes out caramely. At least to me, caramely. So like I said, y'all, this is how I make mine. So like I said, I guess there's 2 cups of sugar then, if that's the case. Or about 2 cups of sugar. 1.5 cups, 2 cups. Something like that. And you don't have to do this extra step. Like I said, this is what we've always done. And this is what I'm going to do my first time making it here in Tucson, too. My business is based out of Tucson, Arizona, y'all. Cookies and ish. And like I said, Southern Peach Cobbler, to me, has to have those flavors. I can't have it without it, y'all. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care what nobody say, y'all. I don't care what nobody say. Talk about me in the comments, y'all. I don't care. Like I said, that's how we make our peach cobbler coming from the South. Coming from the South, y'all. My family coming from the South, rather. I was born in St. Louis, so, but like I said, that's where I learned how to make my peach cobblers through. My mom's sister and her mom. That's exactly what I learned, y'all. And I'm following lately, and I've never had anybody saying that it tastes bad, horrible, anything like that. I've always had rave reviews of my peach cobbler, y'all. Even though I've never made it here in Tucson. I know the population is mostly Mexican, of course, Native American. So and I know there's, of course, where I'm going tomorrow, there's going to be all kind of races there. So I'm not sure how this is going to be with them, but they love my pound cakes as well. I make pound cakes too, Southern pound cakes, and they definitely love the pound cake. Definitely love the pound cake, y'all. I got rave reviews of my pound cake too. So like I said, I know everybody has different flavors, different tastes, and different things like that. But like I said, you can't beat the stuff I make, y'all. It's always been well. Uh-oh. And I'm just cutting up the small pats of butter to put on top of this. Because you cannot leave out the butter, y'all, at all. Cannot leave out the butter, y'all. And I'm putting 3 pats each. Some folks melt their butter. I don't melt it on top, but you can melt your butter. I I've used, I have a half a stick of butter over here. So like I said, I'm just cutting it up like in little, it's not even a full table, like a half a tablespoon. I'm not even cutting it in a full tablespoon, y'all. But like I said, I'm putting the pats on here. That's how I'm doing this today, because I'm my traditional big pan of peach cobbler. That's exactly how I do it as well. Exactly how I do it as well. Nothing different. Except for the pans are smaller. That's it. The pans are way smaller, but that's all right. Everything else is the exact same that I've always made it. Uh-oh. Right? Ooh. Okay. And I may have a little spillage. That's why I put it inside this little baking tin. Because sometimes, of course, when you're making peach cobblers, anything that has liquid in it, sometimes it does waste over. Sometimes it happens. So that's why I got it inside this tin, y'all. Uh-oh. I'm inside the tin, sitting on this cookie sheet. Same thing, sitting on the cookie sheet. And that was a half a stick of butter, y'all. Like I said, that's what I used for this particular part. Put the sugar back in here. I'll wait for that. I'll do that in a few. But like I said, that was a half a stick of butter, y'all. And I just took some little small half of a tablespoon pat and put them on top of the peach cobblers. That's all I did with that, y'all. Nothing different. Or nothing extravagant, I guess I put it that way either. And now it's not going to be the prettiest thing, which is okay. Maybe I try to give it a little bit of something, but like I said, it's not going to be the prettiest thing, but that is okay. I'm just laying these right on top of there. And I probably should have cut these like in little cute little strips, but like I said, y'all, I'm more about the flavor, not the look. That's just for me. Everybody I know is different. But that's just for me, y'all. I'm more about the flavor. At some point, I'll be into the looks, but I'm for the flavor. Flavor is always me. Has to be flavorful. If not, it's not me. It is not me if it's not. It's not me if it's not, y'all. Got to have some flavor up in this bad boy. And like I said, y'all can do this a lot more neater than me. I just got out of work. I'm trying to get this done, y'all. but like I said, definitely do it a lot neater than me if you want. Especially want to look nice and that type of thing. Like I said, I haven't been the one that focuses on the look nice. I focus on the flavor. Now, I know when this bake up, it's gonna look good, damn good anyway. I'm pretty sure that. When it comes to cobblers. I know some folks cut the little strips and stuff out. I don't think I was doing that today, y'all. Don't think I was doing that today. Like I said, it's still going to be doggone good. I can tell you that. Tell you that, y'all. Can tell you that. And this way, I actually don't even have to put any little holes up in here with the fork. I already got holes, y'all. I already got holes like in different area codes. I'm just kidding. I best play y'all, or but like I said, that's what I'm doing with this. So now I guess I'm ludicrous, I guess. I got holes in different area codes. Peach cobbler codes, I guess. Crack myself up, y'all. I know I always do. Yeah, I may not think it's funny, but I thought it was damn funny. I thought it was funny, but that's all right. All right, y'all. I'm trying to hurry up and get done with this. Today has been a long work day. A very long work day. Very, very long work day, y'all. Glad to be home. Glad to be doing something that gives me joy. Glad to be doing something that gives me joy because it always does. Always does. Always, always, always does. Love it, love it, love it. Love it, love it, love it. I'm trying not to use another thing. Yeah. A whole nother thing of a roll of, what's the namers? Dough. Trying to just get this on here. There we go. Like I said, I know this is not the most attractive looking things, but trust me, when it cooks up, it's still gonna look damn good. Trust me on that one, y'all. I can tell you that already. Tanetta knows her stuff. Trust me, it's gonna look damn good, y'all. All right. So I'm getting this. I'm finna put this on in the oven. I'm not sure how long this is gonna actually bake for. I'll come back and check in about 15, 20 minutes. I know these are small little containers. So I'll come back and check in about 15, 20 minutes. But before I do, make sure y'all, of course, subscribe to the channel, y'all. And again, click the notification bell to receive all the videos that I upload from this point here on out. All right. That's in there. So y'all, I'll be right back. Well, y'all time, I'll be right back. But it'll take about 15, 20 minutes. Like I said, I may have to wait a little bit longer. Just depends. I'll tell y'all how long it was once it gets fixed. So I'll be right back, y'all. All right, y'all. I'm dancing. I'm back. The oven mitts. I got to go ahead and take the peach cobblers out the oven. I'm not going to do anything with them right now at all because they have to, of course, cool all the way down before I can put the top on and put them into the fridge. I actually may just leave them on the kitchen table all night instead of putting them into the fridge, actually. But they do have to cool down regardless as to where I put them. So I'm going to go ahead and get them out the oven. Uh-oh. Turn this down just a little bit, y'all. I'm like, Lord. Yeah, I got mixed mac, whatever they call, oven mitts. Don't know all my sets. I have no idea, y'all. I probably just got one full set anyway. Oh my goodness. Oh Lord, oh Lord. Okay. Okay. Check these out, y'all. Let me go ahead and get this oven closed. Oh, my hands, that's hot. All right. So let me pull this bad boy. Actually, let me take this phone up out of here so I can show y'all how this looks, y'all. Let me go ahead and turn this on down. Okay, here are the peach cobblers. Like I said, they're out the oven, y'all. Out the oven, out the oven. You see the crust has like a tinge of brown. I don't like my peach cobbler crust too dark because once it gets too dark, it's going to be hard as I don't know what to kind of spoon eat. I put it that way. So like I said, that's how these bad boys look right now. And like I said, they're going to sit up here on this counter until they cool all the way down, y'all. Until they cool all the way down. Like I said, they may be sitting out here all night. Leave it to me. Because like I said, they don't care. I probably will not put them in the fridge today at all. Because I want them to be all the way cooled down. And I want the sauce, the sweet sauce, the butter, the brown sugar, the sugar inside of the peach cobbers to actually thicken and to get kind of like caramelized, like whether y'all have had southern sweet potatoes, I have no idea. But the really thick sweet potatoes, I put it that way. So that's how my peach cobbers come out. So, like I said, it smells dang on good up in this doggone house. So like I said, I will definitely let these bad boys cool down. And I may not see you back until tomorrow because, like I said, it's going to have to cool all the way down before I can do anything with these. So, I guess that's it for now, y'all. So peace out. I'll see y'all, I guess, in a few hours, if not in the morning. So, like I said, then I'm not going to be able to eat any of the peach cobbler because these, like I said, are going to people at my vendor event tomorrow. So I cannot taste them or that kind of thing on camera. But if I have any left over, I will do so. I guess whenever I get back from the event. So, but that, y'all, I'll see y'all in a few hours, or if not, tomorrow. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel, too. Hit the notification bell to receive all the videos uploaded from this point here on out. This is your girl, Janetta, Tony's Kitchen. I'll be back with y'all soon. This is your girl, Toni, Eating Travel with Toni. This is the next day. The peach cobblers are, I'm looking right at them. They're, of course, they're all cool. They have their tops on, but I'm going to try one for y'all on camera. But let me show y'all these bad boys, how they looking right now. Okay, like I said, the peach cobblers are out the oven. They're cool. They're done. They've been sitting all overnight, and I'm not going to refrigerate these at all, y'all, just to let y'all know. Some people may, I'm not, because I know they're going right on my table when I get to the Burr House tonight here in Tucson. So, like I said, that's how these are going to go. But let me go ahead and get one of these bad boys open for you. I picked up the first one, y'all. Uh-oh, trying to get this. All right, top. Trying to get it off, y'all. Trying to get it off. There we go. Let me get my spoon. Let me get my trusty old spoon. All right, and I'm going to dig it into this, y'all. Trying to get me some. And they are rather juicy. Like I said, I don't really like all the juice. But I know some people do. I know it's not my liking. But I can't do I can't not make everything for my liking because folks like what they like. So, yeah, it's so damn good. My partner actually want one. I'm tasting this one because this one's here. I want some more. I have to take some more, y'all. Lord. Y'all, I haven't made peach cobbers in probably over 10 years. I haven't had them in a long time. This is damn good. Oh, God, y'all. He lucky he wanted it because I was going to eat this whole damn thing. I know damn well I don't eat the whole thing, but I was going to eat it anyway. But y'all, I'm going to go ahead and end this video before I smash the rest of this. So make sure that you, of course, subscribe to the channel and click that notification bell to receive all the videos uploaded from this point here on out. Again, this is me making the mini peach cobblers. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you want to see me making something else, some other kind of dessert, put it down in the comments and let me know what you want me to make next. Peace out, y'all. Have a good one.